My Lords, first oral question, Baroness Hayter of Kentish Town.
I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
My Lords, regulations are already in place to help prevent headlamps, including those using LED technology, from causing dazzle and glare. Nevertheless, work is ongoing at an international level to develop and introduce improved headlamp aiming requirements, and these are also likely to mandate automatic headlamp levelling systems on new cars.
Well, I thank the noble lady, the Minister, for that, because it's a rather better answer than a rather complacent one she gave in a written answer to me. So I'm grateful to that. Because the RAC has reported that 9 out of 10 drivers think that most headlines are too bright, and 90% of them say that they get dazzled. The SMMT is aware of this, as is the College of Optometrists, who assure me it's not just elderly eyes like mine that are affected, but it's youngsters as well, as I see being confirmed around the chamber. So could the noble lady, the Minister, agree perhaps to meet with myself and others interested in this matter to see whether we can make more rapid progress about issues such as the aiming height of lights?
Well, I will certainly meet with the noble lady and indeed others who are interested in this particular area. The noble lady mentions the RAC survey, which indeed was a survey and people were self-selecting in terms of their responses. In 2018, there was research and it concluded that overall there is no direct adverse health benefits from LED emissions in normal use, and indeed they may reduce light sensitivity due to the absence of UV radiation. So, my Lords, as I said, work is continuing on this. It's important that we look at the research, but we have pressed the UNECE to make further progress.
The noble Baroness asked about new technology, but tomorrow is the 40th anniversary of the introduction of seatbelt laws in the UK, and it's saved many thousands of lives since. Yet in 2021, 30% of those killed in car accidents were not wearing their seatbelts, and the recent experience of the Prime Minister has revealed the importance of raising awareness. The current £100 fine with no penalty points is out of kilter with the fines, for example, looking at your mobile phone, which is £200 and 6 penalty points. Will the noble lady guarantee that the government will review the law on seatbelts to introduce, with a view to introducing penalty points?
The government is doing a significant amount of work when it comes to road safety, and indeed in the 3 years that I was the Roads Minister, I took much of that work forward. We will be publishing the Road Safety Strategic Framework in the spring, and that will look at all different elements of road safety with a focus on how we can reduce deaths and also serious injury.
My Lords, one of the things that exacerbates headlight glare is the fact that very many cat's eyes seem to be either not very effective or not present at all. Can the noble lady tell us what regulation there is to ensure that cat's eyes are installed or maintained in a working way?
I don't have information on the regulation of cat's eyes to hand. However, I will happily write to the noble lord with further details.
My Lords, when I was young, long ago, it was considered right and courteous for motorists to dip their headlights for the benefit of others on the road. Is this practice still continuing, or is it long out of date? I ask this question as a non-motorist.
Well, my noble friend is quite right. One should not drive at another car with full beam on. It is right that they are dimmed. But indeed, many vehicles nowadays have a manual system for levelling the aim of headlights. The problem is not enough vehicle owners know how to use it, which is why we asked the UNECE to look very closely at the automatic systems which are available and whether that would help.
My Lords, I wonder if we just go back to the point on road marking and cat's eyes. An awful lot of junctions these days become increasingly complex, and good road marking is absolutely crucial to finding your way around them. But it seems to me that usually it is only white lines on dark surfaces, and there seems to be a world shortage of white paint, because over and over again, the best you can see is a shadow of it in the day, and at night, and particularly wet at night, you're all alone trying to navigate the complexity.
Yeah.
My Lords.
My Lords, the government does set out guidelines for local authorities in terms of road markings and indeed all sorts of different things on the streets. We are looking at revising that at the moment, but of course for most roads across the country, it is for local authorities to make sure that they are marked up appropriately.
Lords, wouldn't the solution to this issue be an automatic system that comes with any car and any car purchased?
Well, I'm grateful to my noble friend, because that is precisely what we are looking at. Indeed, it was the UK that asked the UNECE to look at the automatic systems that are available, to do the research and to assess whether or not they should be implemented in new vehicles. The discussions on this matter will proceed in April 2023.
The Minister says that her department is carrying out a review of road safety. Well, it covers cyclists who often travel with no lights on, go through lights when they're on red, and actually go at very high speeds and cause danger to the public.
No, but the Noble Lord is absolutely right. Road safety is not just about motorists, it's about everybody that uses the roads. That includes cyclists, that includes pedestrians. We just need to make sure that all road users can interact safely with each other to try and reduce deaths.
The Minister seemed, by my noble friend Baroness Hayter's evidence about what motorists feel about the dazzling lights coming towards them. It's certainly anecdotally the case from people I've spoken to, but does she, if she discounts Baroness Hayter's evidence, what evidence is there that comes from her department as to this issue, which seems to be one of some considerable concern?
I think I was just trying to point out that the evidence noted by the noble Lady Baroness Hayter was a survey. The Department for Transport has actually done scientific research into this matter, which we did in 2018, and the conclusion overall, as I said, was there was no direct adverse health effects from LED light emissions. However, that does not mean that we don't continue to take great interest in this. We recognise people's concerns about dazzle and about glare, which is indeed why we have pressed the international community to make some headway.
My Lords, I'm not sure that it's the health emissions is the real problem. I've read that quite a few accidents have been caused by this, so maybe there is quite an urgency to this matter that Baroness Hayter has raised.
I can actually provide some further evidence of that. Between the years of 2010 to 2020, so a 10-year period, dazzle was a contributory factor, and indeed there can be many contributory factors. You don't have to have just one in a collision. In terms of 0.25 and 0.34% of collisions, so far less than 0.5% even have it as a contributory factor, dazzle. However, we've also looked at the trend over time, and there has been no increase in the amount of dazzle caused. Again, we will continue to look at all evidence, but I can say it is a very, very small number of collisions that even have it as a contributing factor.
Does my noble friend know whether these self-adjusting lights can be retrofitted?
I'm grateful to my noble friend. I do not know that they can be retrofitted, but I will find out for him.
my noble friend mentioned the complexity of road crossings. Could I ask the noble lady minister, does she feel that the number of signs one comes across, for example in London, telling one can't turn left, right, straight on, where the cyclists go, what the parking's like, what the speed limit's changed to, are so numerous? Has there been any study into looking at what a human being can actually understand without running people over because he's trying to look at them all?
Well, yes, there is something called sign blindness, where you just get too many, the brain gets overwhelmed, and we are very conscious of that. That is why we are looking again at our guidance to local authorities, and of course in London that would fall under the remit of the Mayor of London, so he may wish to take it up with him, because I am aware of some junctions near me that could certainly do with some attention.